listening to DFW Sports Station 105.3 The Fan.
Let's go!
Hey,
We already have problems.
it's time to get right on 105 through the Fan.
We already got problems.
with Reggie KG.
We already
I
have
knew
problems.
Larry was going to do this.
It's going to be fisticuffs
I
in
knew
here
he was going
already.
to do this.
Show one of the Get Right.
And you knew Larry was going to show out.
Unbelievable.
It is.
Is
Kevin
it too
Gray.
early to fire Larry?
No,
Okay.
of course not.
Okay. I'll
Larry,
think
he
on
knew
it.
what the vibe was.
You're
Kevin Gray,
You're on probation.
Reginald Adetula,
What's happening, everybody?
Larry Flores. It's the Get Right on 105.3 The Fan. We appreciate you joining us on Odyssey and the Odyssey app, the truckwreck.com text line 877-881-1053 if you want to get in on the conversation. Looking forward to this journey, my man. Looking forward to this and having a good time every day, Monday through Friday, once the Rangers conclude their season.
Yeah, we will get preempted by Rangers baseball, but
Yeah.
that ain't no shame. You should be keeping it. The Rangers are doing a little something.
They are doing a little something.
Especially
Playing some
Martin
good
Perez, that boy.
All-star starter might be for the
He's
American
looking like
League.
he's trying to be that, and I have apologies to give to him. Not right now. That's for
Okay.
a later date. 'Cause
Okay.
I definitely saw him, and I didn't poo-poo him, but I was like, that's an innings eater, and he's been more than an innings eater. But that's neither here nor there. Kevin, it's fun to be here with you.
Same.
In this moment, at this time, at this station. This is fun.
I feel like, on television, when a new show debuts, they have like the pilot episode and, to make sure that,
That it works.
Yeah, that it works.
Oh, we should probably try harder then.
Yeah, we probably should. Like, if we're going to be here, playing on the radio, we might as well, do a good job while we're at it. But most pilots for most shows, they do wind up, sticking around. And I think that's what we're hoping for here on 105 through the Fan.
I have to do actually 2 minutes into the show.
Oh, no.
Actually, majority of pilots actually don't make it. But
Hey, come on, look.
however,
Here you go,
However-
introducing logic into this conversation. Thanks,
However,
Reg. Wow.
we are already in a place where I guarantee you we will hang around. You might not hear us this week, but we will hang around.
You might have to wait a little bit before you hear us
a few
again.
days. But that means just luxuriating what we have right now. We've got a show for you. We're going to talk with Tim Cato. We're going to talk with David Hellman. We're going to give you an opportunity to get a chance to know us better, because I know that we've been on the station. I've produced various shows, KNC mostly over the last few years. You, Kevin Gray, have filled in everywhere, including holding down the weekends. But, it's a different relationship with the audience being in a day part, Monday to Friday. So if y'all want to get to know us better, we're doing an Ask Us Anything segment at 8:40 p.m. Central Time, because I don't know where everybody's listening, wherever you're listening, Odyssey app, twitch.tv/DallasFanCam. We appreciate you. But yeah, so if you want to start sending those and lining those up now, go ahead and do that. And if there's a really great way to guarantee that your question gets answered, I am challenging.
Send me some money.
Well, don't send him money.
No, I'm
don't
just
do
joking.
that. You actually can't do that.
No,
You're
I
going
know,
to get
I
in
know.
trouble with the FCC. I'm trying to help you out.
I know. I figured.
But
yeah.
in lieu of sending us money, if you want to show us that you rock with us, please support a couple of initiatives, a couple of charities that do great work. The Wilkinson Center here in Dallas, the National Domestic Violence Hotline, which also supports the Genesis Women's Shelter here in Dallas. Those do great work here in our community. So we want to see how much y'all really bout us. Go ahead and do that. And if you send me a screenshot with a question, I guarantee you I'll get to it. So that's what we've got for right now. And I think we've done enough stalling on what is.
I mean, I was like, Reg got the show. He got
what
it.
is the
Reg's
Dallas
gonna
Mavericks,
He got
right?
you from 7 to. No, I'm just joking. No, we appreciate the love here on 105 through the Fan. A lot of people have reached out to us, have said really nice things, really kind things, whether it's social media, in person. It means a lot to us that you're willing to rock with us, and we're excited about doing this. And hopefully, we'll be getting the chance to talk some Mavs basketball for a little while longer, because as of right now, it might not be over, but Reg, it might be over.
Yeah, we all
for the
know
Mavericks.
what the statistics are. I believe it's
Yeah.
146-0. I believe that's the number.
In the NBA, I mean,
When a team goes down, or
Yeah.
when a team goes up 3-0, they are 146-0 and finishing out that series eventually.
yeah, the Red Sox did that one thing that one time against the Yankees, but that was in baseball.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think we're expecting that to happen here for the Mavericks. But at the same time, was out at Mavs, media availability today. Got a chance to talk with Jason Kidd, Jalen Brunson, Dwight Powell spoke to the media today. And this is a team that has stuck with its mantra throughout the course of the season, which is no matter what the situation, no matter what the circumstances, we are going to stick together. And that will be tested at its peak tomorrow night when the Mavericks try to stave off elimination to save their season for at least one more time to try and, waste some jet fuel to go back to San Francisco.
That's kind of a jerk way to look at it. Waste some jet fuel?
Well,
in this economy?
Look, man, that's true. Low key. It's not like, the gas prices are going down anytime soon. And I'm sure jet fuel is continuing to skyrocket. No, but at the same time, this team has shown us a lot throughout the course of this postseason. And no matter how this ends for the Mavericks, what they have built this year, I think lends itself, in which we'll have a conversation a little bit later on in the show, about how the outlook of this team will look going into the future. But for the present and for the here and now, it's all about saving your season at least one more time and for giving these fans an opportunity to see you, if you're going to go out on your shield, give this home crowd, I should say, a win and be able to feel good about what they've seen throughout the course of the season, because they've accomplished a lot for this season, and an unexpected run to the Western Conference Finals has really been the cherry on top for this team this season.
Yeah, this Mavs team has been an ornery bunch, is the word that keeps coming to mind when I'm thinking of them. I remember in the Sun series, when they came into the Sun series, Tim McMahon of ESPN was one of many, in fact, all of the ESPN experts polled on these, series predictions. Mm-hmm. And I'm not big on predictions, in part because don't nobody come back and give you praise when you're right.
You sure don't want to be, wrong on these things.
It's just when you're wrong, and this is one of those instances. Mm-hmm. But even early on, like before the series started, I don't recall who the player was. I'm not even sure if McMahon made it clear who the player was, but there was a player that came up to him and was like, so I saw you pick the Suns, right?
Oh, yeah, they let him know.
And they took umbrage with that, and they've definitely run with the mantra that nobody believed in us. In fact, we hear that off of the sports, is the folks that are like, nobody believed in us. And we're like, y'all were ranked number one from the start of the year.
Yeah.
But no, they have absolutely, banded around the idea that they are underdogs and that they believe more in their capabilities than others, and they have fought. I remember early in the Sun series when they went down, and I had the audacity to say, this is a scrappy bunch and they're not going to go away. And I'm not going to pat myself on the back like I anticipated them coming back and winning the series.
Right.
But I knew that they would fight. And that's something that I have a strong feeling about with this Mavs. Up until I kind of heard the way that they talked after game 3.
Yeah, it was real, hey, man, it's been a great journey. We've learned so many lessons along the way. We're a young, inexperienced team when it comes to the playoffs. It was real, like, hey, we finna be on this plane to Cancun here in a few days.
Yeah.
Which in some ways, the reality, what the reality is when it comes to being down 3-0. It is what it is. But as Jalen Brunson said earlier, look, man, we're going to stick together. We're going to try to make some history, but we all know what time it is. And while it may not necessarily be over in its official capacity, this series in a lot of ways is over. But I think there are still a lot of good things when you look at how this team, you talked about the fight that they had against the Phoenix Suns, the way that they grew up in that series against the Utah Jazz, and Jalen Brunson becoming one of the breakout stars of these playoffs. There's a lot of things that you could take with you, regardless of how this series ends, going into the summer and beyond, that should give you a lot of confidence that this team can remain in that top of the Western Conference conversation if they don't rest on their laurels and make sure that they continue to improve this team based on some of the deficiencies that they have and be able to address those that can continue to leave that window open going forward in the future to compete for championships the way that this 23-year-old superstar has put them ahead of schedule to be able to do so going forward, because that cat is ready to win titles now. It's about the rest of the organization and everyone else that's going to hopefully come with him that will have him be able to win a championship here in the next few years or so.
But coming back to that initial question of it's over, but is it over? As in, is this team going to get swept? And before I get to that, this is an interesting question that was posed to us by DeRunner1621 on the Twitch chat, which everybody can get involved with. You can actually see us, what's happening out there. On twitch.tv/DallasFanCam if you're chilling at the crib or whatever, and you want to see what's happening and get involved with the rest of the Twolos, as they call themselves in there. Why do you think that a couple teams have come back from 3-0 in baseball and hockey, but not basketball? What's different? And that's a really interesting question to me. I just feel like those sports can be a little bit more varied, right? What is the truism that is said of the playoffs in hockey is, you just need a hot run with a goaltender. If your goalie is playing well, you can go on a run. And that feels like one of those instances where if your goalie just turns into a brick wall, boom, you can make 3-0 shake up. Baseball is so individualistic that, it takes a whole group of guys to get this thing together. But the one place where if you're on fire and, kind of the accolade or the same thing with the goalie stand on their head is if you get pitching that is just outsized, right? You get the crazy pitching starts from a few pitchers and all of a sudden you're back in this. Basketball is not in any way any of those things. This is very much geared towards better teams winning in a 7-game series.
Yep.
And so if you've gotten to a place where you're down 3-0, likelihood is either you have severe injuries that you need to overcome or the team up across from you is just a better suited team.
Yeah, there always comes a point in these series, I think especially in the NBA, where you realize who the better team is throughout the course of a 7-game series. And I think that moment came for me when the Dallas Mavericks go up 19 in Game 2, and they are rocking. But what did the Golden State Warriors do in Game 2? They pulled a whole rope-a-dope and said, hey, look, we don't think you can go 15 or 27 again in a half shooting from the three-point line. And the Mavericks were like, well, bet. We're just going to keep shooting in. And guess what? They shot themselves out in the third quarter, and the Mavericks allowed the Warriors to let the game come to them, and they did what they had to do in the third quarter. They've outscored the Mavericks by 31 points over the course.
I don't know how you outscore by negative points.
Yeah.
Look, I'm open to the idea that maybe it's
that's
possible.
that new math. That new math they got going on in school.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't been in school for a minute. I'm kind of smart, but I don't know how. I'm not going to pretend like I'm the smartest person on earth. If somebody comes through and tells me that there's a negative 31 that you can outscore somebody by, I'm open. I'm open to hearing them.
Once you get kids, you start learning that new math.
Okay.
I got a near 5-year-old, and Larry, he an educator. That new math, that stuff ain't nothing to play with. But they've been outscored by 31 points in the third quarter so far in this series. And
that's not good.
It's not good. And the championship experience, while you may feel like that's kind of an intangible thing that may not necessarily play itself out, it's played itself out throughout the course of these 3 games. And the Mavericks have had to learn that lesson painfully in the way that they've lost these games. And you even think about the game last night. The Mavericks allowed a 22-7 run between the last 3 minutes and 58 seconds of the second quarter and then at the beginning of the third quarter, the first near 3 minutes of the third quarter. Game was over from there. Mavericks, the Warriors did not look back from there after that 22-7 run, and they again allowed the game to come to them. But this is now about, hey, what kind of fight, what kind of resolve do you have to extend your season and to find some of that? Because right now, all the X's and O's stuff, it's out the window now. It's how bad do you want to save your season going forward now, in my mind.
I'm with you to actually talk in this place on some of the more surface level or like anecdotal stuff, but the X's and O's stuff is why we're here in this place, because the way that series work is that series play a lot more like chess matches where individual games are, runs and all these other things that go into it. But in the chess match of it, the Mavs just don't have as many weapons to go to as the Warriors do. And I think that's what we've seen play out over
schematically or talent-wise, honestly.
Exactly. And part of the schematics is, what the tools and the players that you have available to you. But in any individual game, this is a team that can shoot themselves into it. So I guess the question or the answer to that question, the question being, are they capable to get 1 or get 2 or like extend this series even if we're not feeling the idea that they're going to win it? And it's just got to be knocking down. It seems so absurdly simple. It's just got to be knocking down shots, or it's got to be Luka doing like the unheard of where he
going
goes
for 60.
Right. And even then, to kind of bring down the room again, remember that time that Michael Jordan scored 63 and they lost in the playoffs, right? But it's just got to be either a Herculean effort or they've got to find a way to not even revert to the mean, but go above that and shoot an ungodly amount of threes to balance out the discrepancies in what they cannot do against this Warriors team.